Good morning, everyone. It is June 26th, I believe. Yes, Christmas was 6 months from yesterday. In July or June 26th. It's a Wednesday, 11 o'clock on the East Coast, which means I'm going live right here in YouTube. This is what I do every week right here. I'm sharing a card with you. I don't even have it out. There we go. A card with you from the collection of cards that I'm sharing each week. If we haven't had the pleasure of meeting yet, my name is Jamie. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in upstate New York, and I get the pleasure of coming live with you every week right here. I also show up on social medias like Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, YouTube. So we may have crossed paths before, and if not, it's a pleasure to meet you. If you're catching the live, thank you so much for being here. If you are catching the replay, I hope you find, well, regardless if you're here live or replay, I hope you find the video helpful and inspiring. I get asked a bunch of times, like, why don't you ever share measurements of your cards? And mainly it's because I'm not very good with numbers, and I usually mess up tutorials. If you have come to an event of mine or a retreat of mine, you might know that I'm not always the best when it comes to measurements. But I also see what I do as just inspiration. I hope you see maybe an idea or something, and then you go and try and like tweak it or make it exactly, or you just fiddle around, whatever. I hope you find the videos and the content inspiring. That's what my goal is. Good morning, Noreen, Beth, Joe, Judy. Hot and humid East Texas. Oof. Linda's here from Connecticut. We're almost neighbors. No, we are neighbors. I wonder where you are in Connecticut. I'm just outside Albany in New York. Okay, so here's the backstory, and there's a bit of a story. I'm going to try and not speak too fast. I'm from New York. We like to talk fast, but also not take up too much time. So this week, I am in full creative mode for an upcoming Christmas in July retreat. Tags, cards, ornaments, doodads, like the whole, I'm like focused 100% on creating for Christmas in July retreat. And I don't have any like superhuman powers or an unlimited amount of creativity stored. And so I am just like you. And there are times when I get like creative block, or I get creatively fatigued, and I just am like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do. The well has dried up. I'm just like need a break. And when I get to those points, my go-to is clean and simple and relying heavily on designer paper. So I haven't necessarily gotten to that point, but I'm leaving sort of like the well of creative juices for the Christmas in July retreat. But I still wanted to make cards. And so I went to my go-to jam, which is clean and simple, quick and easy cards, focused heavily on designer series paper. So I started to make cards, and I'm like, okay, make one card. I made two cards, and I found I was just using one single 12 by 12 pattern paper, just one. And I made four cards. I had some scrap pieces left over, and I thought, okay, I'm going to use the whole 12 by 12 sheet. And I ended up making 7 cards in total out of one single designer series paper or pattern paper pack. And I thought, well, that's kind of fun. Now you have to understand they're really simple cards, because again, that's what I need to do just to kind of keep the creativity flowing and not completely burn myself out. So really simple, clean cards, 7 of them from one single sheet of 12 by 12. And I thought, this is kind of fun. I'm going to make a class out of this. So I'm sharing 4 of the cards this week. No measurements, though. Measurements are going to be kept for the class. And then I'm going to share the other 3 cards. So 7 cards in total for an upcoming class. And I just realized I didn't put the form in my campsite. But I will just as soon as I'm done with this. So if you, not right now, because I didn't put it there, but I will just literally as soon as I'm done with this. I can't spell. As soon as I'm done with this live, if you go to jamieb.com, the class is open. It is available. I have 3 different options. The first one is just to get the PDF tutorial, to get the measurements of how to cut that 12 by 12 up to get 7 cards. The second option is PDF tutorial, video tutorial, and the like cardstock pieces, card bases, anything that's been punched, embossed paper, that whole thing. Option number 3 is to get all of that plus if you'd like to choose product. Now, I'm trying to make this as cost efficient as possible. So if you are ordering at least $25 in product, you'll get option 1 and option 2 for free. Okay. All the details will be found on that link. Again, if you go to jamieb.com, which is that, you got to spell my name right. You can find all the details. So I'm sharing one of those cards today. It's this one here. Again, guys, really clean, simple, super duper easy. It's kind of my jam. I love these cards so much. But I am going to kind of bedazzle it and switch things up a little bit today for you. I'm pulling one single pattern from the Wildly. Oh, I thought I had all 6 patterns. I only have 4. Now the question is, which one am I missing? I have that one. I don't have that one, and I have that one, and I have that. Which one am I missing? Do I have this one? Well, there's that 6x6. I am missing, well, I think I'm missing the one that I'm focusing on. Well, I have a piece of it. That's all I have left. So this is the gorgeous Wildly Flowering Designer Series paper. This sheet, this pattern here, I'm sorry, that is stunning. Not sorry. Stunning. And all of them are, quite honestly. So the front pieces are all kind of imagery. Oh gosh, guys, so pretty. So pretty, soft, feminine. I think this also makes really great like sympathy cards because it's kind of muted, earthy tones. And then the flip side is more patterns. Okay, so pretty. So this is the one that I'm making with the class. So in the class, this is the one I'm going to be using. You are welcome to use designer paper that you already have. This is the pattern I'm going to be using. It has this like crumb cake, but also like moody mauve and boho blue and mossy meadow. It has like all the colors. And then the flip side is your misty moonlight. So this is the pretty paper. You can choose to add on this paper, or you can use your own paper that you have. We all have pattern paper. If you are a paper crafter and you're like me, there's no shortage of pattern paper. Am I right? Okay, so I'm going to switch up some things. And here's the thing. I'm going to be completely transparent with you. I had every intention of like working out what I wanted to do live with you today, this morning, and it just didn't happen. I got busy invoicing and I made myself a nice breakfast, and the morning completely got away from me. So we're going to do it live, and it's going to be amazing. If I mess up or totally blow it, listen, I'll learn my lesson and try it differently next time. But anyway, so we're going to work through the creative process together. This is the card. So we're going to start. And one of the things I'm going to switch up. So I used Early Espresso as my card base, mostly because the piece of designer paper that I have here doesn't really show that much like the moody mauve. Like it kind of gets hidden a little bit. These pieces have a little bit, but not too much. So I went with an Early Espresso card base, but today I'm going to go with a moody mauve card base. I almost said that very Long Island. I'm not from Long Island, but okay. And I'm not going to give, I'm sorry again, I'm not going to give measurements because I'm going to save that for participants of the class. Hello, Tina. Hello, Crystal, Lorraine, Vicky, Debbie, Yolanda, Linda, all my friends. Hello. I'm going to save that for the card class. I do like to leave some special perks for people that attend the class, and so I'm going to let that be one of them, that I'm going to give exact measurements. So you can fiddle around and kind of play with measurements. I'm not going to give any. So I have one pattern of designer paper. That's the flip side. And I'm going to adhere that to a white mat. I will tell you, all my white mats are always 1/8 inch. Oh, by the way, this is something else I'm switching up. So I'm going to flip-flop. I'm going to make the floral paper like here and put this paper here and do a little flippy flop. That's one of the things I really enjoy about recreating my cards, either in a reel or for you guys here on YouTube, is like switching some things up. And sometimes I like the switched up version more, and sometimes I like the original more. But that's kind of the fun part of the creativity iterative process, is trying new things. And honest to goodness, sometimes you don't like what you make, but it's fun to kind of go through the process. I always say the creative process is not linear. It's not like start with one idea, create it perfectly how you envisioned, and come out with the exact like vision, exact goal or whatever. It's more like up and down, like a heartbeat monitor, where you try something and you didn't like it, try it again, kind of liked it, tweaked the colors, tweak the layout, turned it around, ooh, and then you come up with the final project and you really like it. It's not a linear process. And so if we can just kind of lean into that as opposed to fighting it, I think we'll enjoy the process more. Okay. And I just realized I'm going to cover the blue, and there's no more blue. That's the only blue in that piece. So that is one of the things, I put it back, about this pattern in particular, is depending on where you cut, is you're going to get different flowers showing, different colors showing. So I kind of would have preferred a little of the blue showing down here, because I'm going to end up covering it. But I really think the Moody Mauve and the Misty Moonlight look really pretty together regardless. Okay, so I'm going to mat this. Did I do that wrong? Or did I just not? Oh, no, we're good. Why did I think my measurement was wrong? Okay, so I'm going to take my Misty Moonlight other side. Again, for the class, I'm using one single design, like one single 12 by 12 sheet. So you have to pick a sheet where both sides coordinate, because you're going to be like intermixing them. And you definitely want to pick one. I found it easier that the pattern wasn't directional. So this kind of looks directional, but not really. It's not a directional paper, although these flowers are facing this way. It's not really directional, and that's helpful. Also, one that doesn't have images like to be cut out, I feel like would be easier with this, with the class as well. I'm going to tell you all these tips as if you sign up for the class as we get closer. So I'm matted that in the white. And I just realized I didn't show you my card. So I'm not going to show you all 7. I'm saving that for the class, but I will show you the 4 I'm showing this week. So this is one. Uno. Yesterday was this card. So again, this paper is this way, although it looks like I cut it sideways, but I didn't. It's facing correctly. Super clean and simple. All the sentiments are from the Well Said. I flipped it on its side and reversed the paper to make this one. Same idea, same layout, just turning it on its side and reversing the order of the paper. And then the last one is I made a square card. Again, complementary patterns. They just look so pretty together. And all of them, they use the basic beige bordered ribbon and the iridescent basic pearls, or iridescent pearls basic, or basic iridescent pearls, something like that. I feel like it has the word iridescent, pearls, and basic. The order, I'm not sure. So these are 4 of the cards in the class. Again, I'm going to show you how to break down that 12 by 12 to get 7 kind of basic, simple cards, but all of these can be like really done up more. You can add die cutting, you can add punching and embossing. I almost wanted to heat emboss for one of the cards. So you can like take the bones of the class and then just do more, bigger and better. So those are the 4 cards I'm sharing this week. Back to our regularly scheduled program. Okay, so I want to get this on, and I just realized I adhered that too soon. Jamie Babarsi. I did what I didn't want to do. Well, we're going to have to make it work. So ideally, I would have adhered this down before adhering this to the card. Okay, I don't think I can get that up. Can I get that up? Oh, I might. Hold on. The key to pulling up if you make it oops is to go slow and to try and not warp your paper. Hold on. I can do that. There we go. I did it. Now I got to make sure I don't accidentally adhere this to my grid paper. The other thing I wanted to do, and I totally forgot because I'm getting the app in and I'm forgetting, is I wanted to have this sheet. Well, maybe I can still do it. Go to the bottom. Like I still wanted this white border to show on the other 2 sides. I cut it to the edge of the very top, but I would have liked that white showing on the other corners. Does that make sense? Let's see if we can figure out how to do this. So what I did in my sample for that one is I just adhered it down like this. And you can play with how deep you want it and whatever. And then I just cut it, right? But I want it a little lower. I wonder if I can fiddle. Hold on. I need a pencil. I can do this. I can do this. Totally do this. I need a pencil. Okay, so I'm going to make this. I'm complicating this way more than it should. So to do what I did for this card is I just adhered this, boom, and then cut. I just used the paper trimmer and cut. That's the easiest way. I'm about to complicate it because I want that little white edge to show. So let's see if I nothing like, oh my gravy. Let's see here. I don't know if this is going to work. I mean, why wouldn't it work is what I'm thinking. Except if you cut and it doesn't cut properly. Actually, I can. Okay. Golly, I hope that worked. Because if not, we're really going to have to just make it work. Oh, it kind of worked. I wanted to go. Okay, hold on. We can fix it again. I wanted to go. Why didn't I realize that when I cut it? I wanted to go to that edge, to the tip. We're going to trim again. Okay, this should do it. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, that totally worked. Okay, kind of. It's a little bit of an overhang here. I don't know. It's blurry when I go up and show you closer. It's a little overhang, but not significantly. So this is still tacky. So I'm going to adhere this down. And then one of the things I'm going to switch up is I want to put this on dimensionals. Look at my dimensionals. Oh, they're already cut. These are well-loved, well-used dimensionals. Do I have a fresh? Oh, I do have one. I love when I finish a dimensional sheet. I'm like, I just feel so accomplished. Like, ooh, I've been crafting so much lately that I went through a whole sheet of dimensionals. Now we're going to cheat and pull up the backings with my Take Your Pick tool. Yep. Don't do that. Okay. And then just have to line it up. Again, it's a little overhanged. It's overhanging a little bit, but we're going to call that, oh well, because I don't know if I can really fix that more than it already is. Let me smooth out my edge because that bothers me. Okay, so I already like it a bit more and kind of wish my sample had this. It's a lot lower. Or I guess it's not. It just looks like a lot lower because it's blue. I like it a lot more with the dimensionals. I don't know if you can pick up on this. This just looks like a little flat, and this has a little bit of a lift to it, and I like it a lot. Okay. Okay. I'm going to do some stamping. So there does have the stamp set, the paper does come as part of a suite. It's part of the Wildly Flowering suite. In the class, I'm not using the suite. I'm just going to use the Well Said stamp set because I just love the versatility of it, and it just covers all the basics, and it's just great. Doesn't require dies. Love it. But the paper does come as part of a whole suite collection with a stamp set, dies, even an embossing folder, and some embellishments. So to kind of spruce this up a little bit, I thought I would use the suite components. So here's the stamp set. It is a red rubber cling, and I'm going to use the You've Been on My Mind. Now, this is where I'm flying by the seat of my pants because I don't have this planned ahead of time. And I thought maybe we would use some of these doodads. I love this guy. I like that one too, but that would, well, let's get them out. I haven't used this. Look, I just popped it out now. So I want that one and that one. But I'm still going to keep with kind of the clean and simple and quick. That's not big enough. Is that big enough? Maybe if I put it on an angle. There we go. Clean and quick and simple. So I am going to add more details, but I'm not going to do anything extraordinary. Oop. Okay, so I'm thinking, how do I want to tackle this? Should I stamp in black and color, or should I stamp in a single color and maybe use, what's this called? A blender pen. My nails. I can't do anything with these darn nails. There we go. I think I'm going to go with door number 2 for the sake of ease. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. Hopefully. I don't know. I may do it and then not like it and undo it. Oh gosh, that's so pretty. That is so gorgeous. Now it's still wet, so I'm going to take just the blender pen and smear just a little bit. I don't know if you, well, if I put them side by side, you might be able to see the difference. Can you see that it's just a little softer? And you want to do it while the ink is wet. And you don't want to be too rough. When using a blender pen, ideally you would use like watercolor paper. But as long as I'm not sitting here really working the paper hard, I'm good. And when you're done, you just go on your scrap paper until it runs clear. And then the other one, maybe I'll do the other one in crumb cake. Should we do the other one in crumb cake? Maybe we'll do, should we do Mossy Meadow or crumb cake? Mossy Meadow or crumb cake? I think I'm going to do Mossy Meadow. Flying by the seat of my pants. Does she know what she's doing? No. Does she have a plan? Sort of. Is she making it up as she goes? Absolutely. Will she like it? To be determined. This is what I call lazy coloring. Oh, that's just what I need this week too. I don't know if I like that, honestly. Is that Mossy Meadow? Why does that not look super dark? It is Mossy Meadow. I don't love that. Can I be honest with you? Let's see what crumb cake looks like. Oh, I gotta clean my stamp though. And I think I might, maybe we'll go with the other one. This one. Should we go with this one instead? I'm just kind of envisioning them kind of like tucked into each other. You know? Here we go. Do, do, do. Do, do, do. One. Oh, I like the crumb cake. But I'm not sure how much that's going to show the smearing. Well, maybe a little bit if I just soften the edges. This is what I'm saying. Like, creativity is not a linear process. Maybe I'll just cut all 3 of them out and see which ones I like. And because, well, I can probably, well, hold on. I was going to die cut, but now I don't, that's not going to be big enough. I was going to use this, but I took up too much space. Hold on. Use this. Maybe I'll do the sentiment in early espresso. I want it to really show up. When I do a sentiment, I almost always stamp it in the darkest color I have. Hello from Germany. That's super fun and hot. Oof. I'd ask you how hot, but you would probably tell me in centigrade. In Celsius. Wait. Yeah. Right? Whoa, I just had a major moment. Anyways, I would need it in Fahrenheit and I wouldn't be able to do the conversion. Okay, so I was going to use one of these gorgeous dies. I haven't used them yet. Look, I haven't even popped them off. Does that fit? That does fit. Okay, let's use that one. Look at these dies. Gorgeous. Oh. The angels are singing. Okay, so I'm not going to lie, guys. I was going to emboss this, and again, I got talking and completely forgot. So in my stepped-up version, I would recommend embossing this piece. It would have added an extra kind of layer of detail, a little extra something to it. and I didn't. So if you want to, I would suggest doing that. Or you can leave it plain like I did. Okay, off camera, I'm going to do some die cutting. I used to move my entire machine under my camera, and it's so clunky that I don't anymore. So give me a second. Can I do them all at once? I feel like I'm tempting fate. Okay, die cut. Here we go. Hopefully they don't shift. I think we're good. I got to cut the sentiment out too. Okay. I see what we got. I don't know if I love the green. I love the Moody Mauve, and I love the crumb cake. I don't know if I... Okay, hold on. I'm just putting a sentiment and forgetting the flowers altogether. 30 Celsius, 86 Fahrenheit. But my craft room leads to southwest direction, so it feels like an embossing powder will melt. That is a very good description of what you feel, and I now have such a clear picture of what you're going through. Okay. Sentiment. This is kind of what I was thinking, and then we would tuck these little doodads in. Guys, I don't know if I love this, but we're going to go with it. Don't know if I love it, but we're going to go. I'm such a clean, simple Nilly. Like almost to a fault. Almost to a fault. Should I cut the other ones out? Because I was going to put the other ones down here. I have them done. I might as well cut them out. I don't know. Especially as air conditioning is not very common in my country. Oh my gosh. Well, I feel your pain. Growing up, and even up until like a couple of years ago, we didn't have air conditioning. And I swear that's why I don't love summer, because it just, when I think of summer, I just think of like sweltering heat and not sleeping well, because you have a single fan blowing hot air on you at night and not sleeping well. So I think that's really why I love fall and winter, because it's like the respite after unbearably hot summers and not having air conditioning. Oh, I lost one. Where'd I lose it? How'd I lose it? I lost the third one somewhere. Right? 1, 2. But I cut out 3. I have a hole. Oh my goodness. Where did it go? Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh, no, that's not it. Did it fall on the floor? Oh, it did fall on the floor. Got it. Crisis averted. You think it's pretty, Tina? Well, I'm glad you think it's pretty. I don't know how I feel. I'm a very kind of silly person, because I also don't like mixing looks, if that makes sense. So like the paper is a very different look compared to the stamped look. Okay. Before we start adhering, I used do I have any left? Oh my gosh, I have just a little bit left. Would that be enough for me to make a bow? Yeah, that'll be enough for me to make a bow, I think. I used the basic beige in my cards because I thought it looked really nice. And I think I may make a fork bow. You like the one on the top only, Joe? I think I'm with you. I think I would agree with you. I'm like laying them down to see if I can convince myself that this looks nice. The more I see the DSP, the more I start to love it. It's so pretty. So pretty. And honestly, when paper is that pretty, that's why these cards are so quick and simple, because the paper does all the work. Honestly. Okay, fork bow, here we go. I'm going to go fast. If you need to watch again, just rewind if you're catching the replay. I'm going to go fast. If you've come to my events, I literally do a fork bow like little mini class almost every single time. The one on the bottom is distracted from the DSP. I know, I would agree. I mean, I'm actually even okay with just that, but I think the blue could use a little bit of bedazzling, so we'll add these little doodads. Okay, a serving fork or a Dynamis fork or even a wide tooth comb would work. You're going to go across the front, and so you kind of create this little V that's going on here. Okay, so from starts at the front, winds around the back. I normally keep it on the spool, but because this is literally the last of my spool, I just took it off, but I normally keep it attached. And then what you're going to do is take the one in the back, go over the one in the front, and then put it in the middle sprung under the bottom of your fork. Okay. And my friend that taught me how to do this, and this I say it in my head every single time, you go over the river. So you're going to go over this ribbon through the woods, through the middle sprung on the bottom. Pull it through. Okay. So you kind of get this. It's like a little cross. The back I pinch with my pointer and middle finger. And then this guy in the front, I kind of shove to the middle, and you go up and through that same middle prong, and then tie a super tight knot. Do not do a double knot. A double knot will make this too chunky. It's not needed. A single really tight, taut knot will do just the trick. Okay, it's stuck on my fork now, but you can see the bow forming, and you just slide it off your fork and trim the tails. Although I tend to like long bow tails, so we'll start there. Ta-da. Oh, they're a little long. The one side looks longer than the other. And it'll make a nearly perfect bow, nearly perfect every time. Okay, so I'm going to put the bow down here. That'll fill that corner a little bit. Okay, I'm going to give it a haircut again. Go away, go away. Okay, here we go. I might go a little bit higher again to kind of fill that blue. And that green one isn't my favorite, so I'm going to tuck that one in the back so it's the least one seen. Tuck that one so no one really sees it. I might work off of this because I'm struggling otherwise. Let's just do how I like to do it while holding it. And we'll tuck this one in front of the green because I like it more. Tuck this one in front of the green because I like it more. I don't know, guys. This is not really my style, but we're going to go with it. Not really my style, but we will embrace. Hold on, that's bothering me. A bow jig? What's a bow jig, Tina? Tell me more. Tell me more. What is a bow jig? Is that thing that has like prongs? Like spokes coming off of it? Or did I just make a complete fool of myself? Okay, we're going to go with that. Oh, I don't know if I love it. Actually, I really don't like it, but that's okay. Not only am I not sure if I like it, but I think I actually don't like it. Oh my goodness. This is why I stick to clean and simple cards, because I know I'll like them. Oh, very cool. I've seen them. I don't have one, but I think it's like basically the same concept, right? That you have something that you're wrapping like the bow around. I don't know. Am I making any sense? To be determined. I don't know if I'm making any sense. Well, I have more of these. I could fill this a little bit more. Should I just walk away? Jamie, just walk away. Walk away from the details, Jamie. No more. Walk away. They're all cut and stamped. Oh, I kind of like that one. I could tuck it behind. Okay, that's bothering me. That's how we're dealing with that. You just rip it apart. I like that. Okay, let's add that one. Oh my goodness. I once had a friend, it's so funny. You see other people make cards, and we always admire what maybe doesn't come naturally to us. We always admire that, or we tend to admire that in others. And so because I am such a less is more, clean and simple, like really simple, but I think pretty cards, when I see other people bedazzle and just do like layers and layers and how they pair things, and I'm just like, I admire that so much. I'm like, how are they able to do that? I should be more like that. And so I try and kind of push myself a little bit, thinking, oh, this isn't good enough. And if someone, people say all the time, you make it look easy, but it's not always easy. I get in my own head. So it's interesting because I had a friend tell me recently, she encouraged me. She's like, do Jamie. And I'm like, okay, Jamie does clean, simple, quick and easy cards. Just do Jamie. And this is why I do Jamie, because if not, I don't know if I like this very much. And I kind of wish my bow was bigger. Should I tie another one and see if I like it bigger? It's a little small in comparison. Don't worry, guys. I have more Basic Beige ribbon. Gosh, I love this stuff. It makes really pretty bows. And I don't like to tie a bow usually. That's why I do the fork bow. But if I need a bigger bow, I'm forced to hand tie. But let's see if I can play with this a little. Talk amongst yourselves. I told you today's card was not going to be, it kind of was pre-designed, but not the completed card. Oh, I like that big chunky bow better. Gosh, I love big chunky bows. Oh, I like that better. We're going to go with the big chunky bow. So option 1, tiny, cute, easy fork bow. Or option number 2, hand done, a little imperfect, but big, chunky, and beautiful bow. I like that. It just fills that space. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? But because I didn't put a dimensional down here, it's a bit flapping in the wind. So I don't know if one's going to do it. We're going to have to do 2, I think. 2 have to do it. Because if not, that bow is really going to struggle. Like it has emotions. It is the same concept with the bow jig, but you have the option to adjust the size easily. So like in this case where I wanted a big chunky bow, that's where it would come into play, right? Okay, so I doubled up some dimensionals, and I need my pick tool because I just need a little support under here. I should put one up there too. That's a little flapping in the wind too. This is how I slip in. Actually, no, I usually use my scissors. Come on. Oh, my gravy. Thank you. Oh, my. What in the world? Okay, we're going to just use my fingers. Done. Okay, let's get this bow. This struggle is real today, guys. Holy Moses. Okay, so what I like to do is, and I know some people like glue dots. They're not my go-to for bows because I find that if I have my card sitting around here for a hot second with a bow that was used with a glue dot, it's more likely to pop off. If I use liquid glue, like that sucker's not coming off. This is like super permanent, strong, and I love it. So I don't know, maybe for like a tiny bow, I might do a glue dot, but for the sake of a big chunky, I really needed to stay and not go anywhere. We're going to use a very generous glob, and I say glob. It should be blob, but I always say glob. Glob of glue, and then I'm just going to put my bow over and then grab a block. Let me grab a clear block so you can still, well, that is a clear block, but it has something on it. And I'm just going to put a block over it and give it a hot second, except I need to form my bows so they stay how I want them. Okay, there we go. That's a little better. That'll be fine. It'll be fine. You like the bigger bow too? I do. I do too. I like this one. It's like cute and like it just didn't fill the space, I feel, right? Even though you may not be in love with the card, I think it's beautiful. Oh, Judy, you're so sweet. It's just not necessarily a Jamie card. No, I shouldn't say that. It is mine. I just have a hard time mixing like stamped images with a different kind of image that's on. I'm just crazy. When I say I like things matchy matchy, I really like things matchy matchy. I like really mean it. I actually like really mean it. So I'm gonna stick with what I did for my class and use some iridescent pearls. I use these all the time, especially since we don't have our normal basic pearls anymore. So you know what, guys? I like to put the lid on the poker end because I'm like so afraid I'm gonna just poke an eye out. Oh, Allison's on. You're so sweet, Allison. Allison is my events retreat partner in crime. That's how I'm gonna word you. That's how I'm gonna describe her. She's my partner in crime. Okay, let's add some of these doodads. I love, thank you Stampin' Up, that they gave us so much more small than the larger size. There's 2 sizes, but there's so many more. So many more of the smaller size, because if you're like me, I use the smaller ones more. And so thank you Stampin' Up. Usually it's like half, you get equal number, but this one, like they were thinking, or they heard the feedback, or I don't know what, but thank you. More like this, please, Stampin' Up. Feeling a little sassy today, guys. Just the kind of day it is. Okay, we're gonna put one up there, pick up another one, do another one. Golly, how about there? Hold on, I have another sheet that has just large. We're gonna pull from this one first, and then we'll do another one down there. This one's kind of bothering me. I want to move it. Oh, totally moving it just a little bit. There we go. Okay, so guys, we're calling that done. That's done. That's doneer enough. So I forgot to emboss the designer paper. So if you're looking to do something else to step up the really simple design, would be to emboss. You could actually just run that pattern paper through your machine and give it a little bit of texture. That was going to be the original idea, and then I got yapping and I forgot. You could also add some things like die cutting. Instead of just cutting out a sentiment, you can die cut a sentiment. You can also to take like the original idea and elevate it, add some stamping with some stamped images that can be die cut or punched out, and just elevate it. You can also play with, do you want the more imagery pattern to be on the top, or do you like it kind of peeking out from the bottom, and sort of just go from there. So in the class, you're going to learn the bones, sort of like the foundation of how to cut your 12 by 12 paper to get 7 cards out of one single sheet. And then you're going to just, sky's the limit. You can emboss, you can die cut, you can stamp, you can keep it clean and simple like I'm going to teach you, or you can really just go above and beyond and do more. Okay. So this week I'm showing you the 4 cards that are going to be in the class. There are 3 more that you aren't going to see. So these are the 4, a square card, the same card, but flipped around and switched up the patterns. But then I really want you to know that it's just giving you sort of a foundation for you to go from there. And there's 3 options. You can get just the PDF. You can get the PDF and the cardstock cuts, or the PDF cardstock cuts and product. So I'm going to right now literally going to scoot on over and put those that link into my campsite bio, jamieb.com. You got to spell it right. Otherwise, if you're not interested in the class, you should get the paper. It's absolutely gorgeous. Wildly Flowering Designer Series paper. It's a 12 by 12 pack. Gorgeous florals. So pretty. You absolutely must have it. No exceptions. Okay, guys, thanks for sticking around and just following me as I work through the creative process of creating today's card. I hope you feel inspired to get out there and try making a card today, or even this weekend, and not just making it, but also mailing it. It's equally as important. So that's it for today, everyone. Have a good rest of your week. I'll be back next week, same time, same place, and I hope to see you then. Have a good one, guys. Bye-bye. Happy stamping.